Shabbat Shalom, giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Arachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations until the full elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, I'm in this forum site, and the title of it caught my eye. Is that China, the United States days of bullying the world are coming to an end. And this is actually from the BRICS Twitter account or X account. So you got the Chinese leadership basically echoing to the world that America's days of being the dominant superpower in the earth is rearing its end. And, Babylon had its time. All right. At one point, all nations respected and feared the West. It's military prowess, military might, it's wealth. It tells you that in Revelation 13 how the nations would say, who would make war with this beast, who can cause fire to come down from heaven. But now, we're in the midst of a transition, and the tables are turning, and these nations are they're no longer afraid. They're not intimidated by the West, and that's because the Lord's been lifting up the skirt and pulling the card on the West. And I immediately thought about a few scriptures, reading through this thread. One of them being in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, where it says, "Thou art filled with shameful glory." It talks about how their foreskin is going to be uncovered, and the cup of the Lord's right hand is going to be turned to them, and shameful spewing shall be on their glory. And this is what you get. All right. And I'm going to read through some of these tweets so you can hear what the people are saying. And I'm going to play this clip right here from the former China foreign minister. All right. And he goes in. So without further ado, this is what I'm actually play it. And I'm going to pause it at times, and I'm going to respond and hit precepts. All right. This place is on its way out, So this is what has to happen. All right. The shameful spewing. Nobody's afraid, and nobody respects the West. They don't respect this devil. All right, so let me play the clip.
You are talking about the new China's nationalism. I don't know where did you learn that. Maybe from some American biased journalists. But they are a great politician. You are not a biased journalist, sir. So excuse me for being so candid. China, according to President Xi Jinping's idea, will always have the people at the center. Will always believe in the principle of the people first. The people meaning not only the Chinese people, but also the people of the world at large. In 2013, President Xi Jinping.
Now, don't get it twisted, because Moab, the scriptures speak about the pride of Moab. They think that they're going to jump right into the power seat, right when Esau goes down. We know that they're pretty much in tune with the new global order, which they're trying to bring about a new global system, which is powered by a technocracy that's going to control and monitor everything moving, everything that's alive. And over there in China is just straight up prison country. They're linked to all this surveillance technology and biometrics, where every sudden little move you make is all being traced, and that's no way to really live. But the elites, that's exactly the model that they want for the rest of the world. So they're in on the New World agenda as well. Okay, make no mistake about it.
When paying a state visit to a neighboring country, he proposed for the first time the building of the One Belt, One Road idea. And the method of building this great idea is to learn from each other, to cooperate in the principle of peaceful coexistence, and to benefit the results of the building up of the One Belt, One Road. China will never try to be like a superpower like the United States of America. And I hope our American friends will also know the basic or very simple principle. That is, history is the best teacher. According to what I learned from American professors at the university, America, or the Northern American continent, used to be a colony of the UK, of the British Empire. And the American people suffered a lot. That's why there was the Independence War in 1776.
And he's skipping over some obvious history, because we know that America didn't just start with the British. You had people that were over here before the British and those other European conquistadors. All right, these Edomites coming over here with their colonialism. They came over here when there was a people already over here that happened to be the northern tribes that were over here way before this devil came over here, and he knew who were over here. All right. They discovered, well, they didn't discover. Actually, no, they discovered that the northern tribes were already over here, which is why, you read about the account dealing with Christopher Columbus, aka Cristobal Colon, his real name. They knew that the tribes were over here, and that's why they brought Hebrew interpreters to come over here. Okay. You read the history in the prophecies, how the northern tribes came over here, leaving from the Syrian captivity, and they came over into, which the prophecy calls it Arsarif, which means another land. All right, they came over here, and it took a year and a half long journey to get over here, and they came over here so that they can keep the laws. But we know what happened with that, and eventually the beast came over here hundreds of years later and captured them. Okay, it tells you that the beast. Let me get it real quick. Let me see. I think it's. Yeah, Revelation 13. And verse I'll start at verse 5. It says, "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And there was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given unto him over all kindreds and tongues and nations." And that's why Esau has all this influence and power over the earth. All right. When the beast, all right, that dragon, when he came out of the bottomless pit and that deadly wound was healed, he went out and he conquered the world. All right. Took over all of Europe, and then eventually came over to the western side of the world, the utmost part of the earth, and made war with the saints, which are the Israelites, so-called Latinos, Native Americans that were here. And eventually, Judah was brought over here. And they did overcome us because, we were conquered. And they ruled over us. Shed our blood. They enslaved us. They exploited us. And we're still found in their hand to this very day. All right. So this is all history. Let me go to, was it Revelation 17? No, it's not here. I think it might be in Daniel. Let's go to Daniel 7. Because he started from the inception of the American Empire as it declared its independence from Great Britain. But who was over here prior to all that going down? Right? They were all over here to fight for the resources that neither of them owned. None of them were entitled to it, but they felt entitled, and they came over here with the sword, and they took down the people that were already over here and exploited them and took the resources and conquered the land and made it theirs. That's what really happened. Then these devils started fighting amongst each other. The British, the Spanish, the French. They all made their way over here, and they all was fighting for territory and land to exploit the resources of those lands. That's what happened. And scriptures say that in Micah, the 2nd chapter, they covet fields. They take them by violence. They oppress a man in his home, even a man in his heritage. And that's what they did. So let me see if I can find that. Yeah, here it is. So this is the same thing I read in Revelation. This is in Daniel, the 7th chapter, and this is dealing with the beast. All right, which is Europe. European countries was broken up into 10 nations, and then it became 28 plus nations. All right. The European Union, which started off as the Treaty of Rome, or the European Economic Community. So it says, Daniel 7:20 says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. Which you had the British, the Spanish, and the French, right? Even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. America, I beheld in the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. And that's what happened. They prevailed against us. So we've been conquered ever since that, and we getting ready to get redeemed, delivered out of their hand. Okay? Who's going to come to do that? Yahushua. So let's go back.
I suppose some American politicians have forgotten their own history. Now people are talking a lot about the trade war between the U.S. and China. They forgot about the trade war with the former rulers, the British colonialists. You forgot what happened in 1776 in Boston. You forgot about the incident of the tea pouring event. And that thing led to the independence war. And after 8 years of fighting, America came into being in 1783. So America has such a history. That's why you developed first. You developed so fast later on. In China, we have a saying, which is, I believe, a truth. That is, a child from a poor family could go far, could do a lot, could be successful. American, you have your forefathers to be ruled, to be exploited, to be bullied by the Western European colonialists. So after you got independence,
Well, we were the ones that were exploited. They used our hard slave labor. You know, they used Jake inventions to build the technology in this country, and Jake don't get any acknowledgement. Right? Let's get that in the curse. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Matter of fact, let me go to the AMP as well. Deuteronomy 28 and 33. It says, a people whom you do not know will eat the produce of your land and all the products of your labors, and you will never be anything but oppressed and exploited and crushed continually. All right, and you know, Jake never get they credit and never get they just due, compensation, reparation, whatever you want to call it. It's just not going to happen because we were brought here to serve punishment. All right. Let me jump down to verse. And then I skip it. In verse 29, it says, and you will be groping at noon in broad daylight, just as the blind grope in darkness, and nothing you do will prosper, but you will only be oppressed and exploited and robbed continually with no one to save you. So, you know, we went through that here. So this is shameful spewing upon their glory. He's getting in America's ass right here.
You developed so fast. You had so many inventions and so on and so forth. And however, what the pity is, when you became the number one economy, the number one military power, you became a student, a learner of your former, boss, the British. You want to bully others. In 1900, you joined the other Western imperialists to invade China. In the 1950s, America took the lead to invade the Korean Peninsula. And you made a lot of trouble in the Middle East and around the Arab world. You tried to sow discord among peace-loving countries.
So what he's saying right there is 100%. That's exactly what they were doing, just going around invading, destabilizing, you know, just so that they can put their embassies there and exploit the resources of those countries. That's their track record. Sowed all kind of discord, you know, put countries that were once at peace, put them at odds against each other. And that's where you get the divide between South Korea, North Korea. Let me go to Sirach real quick. I think it's in, was it Sirach 37? Or it might be 27. Let me see. Bear with me. Might be this chapter. Let me see. And if it ain't here, I'm going to just search it up. There it is. So Sirach 28. Yeah, Sirach 28 in verse 9. And it says, a sinful man disquieteth friends and maketh debate among them that be at peace. And, he had the resources and the money to, cause all this dissension among these other nations. And let's just say that America was involved in all these wars that took place that caused a lot of casualties, a lot of destruction, that caused a particular town to get bombarded with atomic weapons. And everybody remembers that. So, Esau, that's him, because he's a man of the sword. And it tells you that in Revelation, how he dealing with the red horse, that power will be given unto him in a sword. Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And that's why the world is going to be where it's at as long as this devil is in power and everything is under his rule. Okay. And this is what these nations are figuring out. All right. This is why eventually they all are going to come against them. When you go to Obadiah and it talks about, prepare a battle against her, for I will make you small among the nations that were greatly despised. They all going to go to war with Babylon and Israel. All right. And right now, NATO and Russia, there's like final last warning words between each other before it goes haywire. So it's getting close to that point. Okay. But let's keep going. And that shows you that this devil is hated by the Most High, because one of the things that the Most High do hate is a person that sows discord. And he sowed that all around the world so that he can get his way. So there you have it.
You didn't keep your promise. Talking about U.S.-China relations, I was quite happy to thank you for you to give me the chance. Remember, sir, 1972 was still not too far away. On the last day, February the 28th, 1972, the first joint communique between our two countries was announced in Shanghai. According to that communique, we simply call it the Shanghai Joint Communique between China and America. The essential sentence in that document is that the American government finds that the Chinese people on the two sides of the Taiwan Straits all believe there is only one China. All believe that Taiwan is part of China. The American government does not challenge this position. This is a very important sentence in the first joint communique between our two countries. But I'm afraid.
Well, you can't trust the devil, man. You can't make no treaties or agreements with him. All right. The scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. Well, really, they were allies When we read Psalms 83rd chapter, they were all confederate, with one consent against the children of Israel. But other than that, Esau wasn't really a true ally to those Moabites. But they thought Esau, just all this time, was an ally. And now they finding out that this devil, he's never to be trusted. All right. It tells you, was that Psalms, what was that, 55 and 20? And it says he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them. He have broken his covenant, meaning agreement. And that's Esau, man. What covenants, what treaties and agreements have he ever kept? He don't keep anything. Everything is, if he can get his way, if he can cross you, he'll do it, man. He will like it tells you in Apocrypha, he will think to take thy seat. All right. So set that man not by thee, because he would think he will take your place. Stab you in the back, man. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And this is what more of these nations are finding out about this devil. Okay. And now they're really, at odds over Taiwan. And here go Esau trying to sow that discord, and which literally is what happened. They're trying to make them sovereign so that America can be over there in their territory. But China, they ain't having it.
Fred, sir, have you ever read that? Have you ever read it?
I suspect he has.
Many politicians of America read it, but they forgot it. And they don't keep their promise. They betrayed their forefathers' promise. And they continued to interfere into China.
And that shows you how treacherous they are. And that's why let's go to Habakkuk. You dealing treacherous with everybody. That same energy is going to come upon you. Habakkuk 2 and verse 7, it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty spoils unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. And matter of fact, when you read up, that taunting proverb, all right, verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against them, and a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? So this devil wants everything for himself. So he'll befriend you and act like he's going to protect you, from other countries. But he's in it for himself. You still got to obey their policy. So they're noticing the treachery.
China internal affairs on the Taiwan question. For instance, you wanted still to sell weapons to Taiwan. For what? Is Taiwan a state, a city, a village of the United States? No, Taiwan is China's Taiwan. Just about Hong Kong too. Hong Kong is China's Hong Kong.
He never keepeth at home. He think everything belongs to him. That's his desire is as hell, and that's death, and can never be satisfied. Everywhere, sowing discord, bringing division, invading, bombing. So yeah, it's watch what's going to happen, man. That's why these nations eventually they're going to get together. Okay, and the Lord is going to be with it, because the Lord's going to put the Spirit on them to do it. And that's how this man is going to go out, man.
But your parliament even passed a so-called act bill to interfere, to talk at random about our Hong Kong matters. This is ridiculous. This only damages the image of America in front of the world people. So thank you for
in front of the world of the people. And what did the Lord say he would do to Babylon? Let's go to Nahum 3 and verse 5. And it says, Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And that's what it is. The Lord is keeping that skirt lifted so all these nations can look upon her and see just the vileness, the filth, the untrustworthiness, the disgrace, the shameful history. All right. And that's part of this man's glory being disgraced right now. He's being brought to shame. He's being brought low. That's why it says in Isaiah 47 concerning the virgin daughter Babylon, sit down in the dust. And he's going to uncover the thigh and show everybody your shame. And that's what's happening. So let me go back to Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. It says, Thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right, and this whole thread just bringing it all out. All right, on this forum site. People are growing disgusted with the Biden administration because of their solidarity with those small hats are doing over there with Palestine. When the UN are agreeing to a two-state solution, which really, because that's them trying to pardon the land of the Lord, and that's in Joel the 3rd chapter. You pardon the Lord's land, which is our land, for their possession, and neither one of them is supposed to be over there. But America is one of the only nations that voted against it. Are you looking at these different tweets? Yeah. Babylon has to kiss the ring. They gotta America is the pet demon that pretty much works for Israel. That's why anti-immigration political views from U.S. minorities will always rub me the wrong way. American destabilization, invasion, and exploitation is often the reason why many of the global South and Middle East need to leave their country and end up in America in the first place. Yeah, just fucking up their conditions and depleting them of their resources dry, and they ain't got a pot to piss in, so they flee and come over here. And you come over here and you ain't free either. So yeah, this it's over with, man. This place is done for. Every single time a country tries to improve itself without involving the U.S., the U.S. tries to punish them. And this is exactly why the U.S. is losing a lot of its influence. Who wants to be in an abusive relationship in perpetuity with a nation ran by self-serving psychopaths? Yep. Hey, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And these people, some of these are Americans saying it. This is Jake saying it. They know this place is that's why the Lord's going to destroy this place. All right, when he calls all these nations to come against it and shoot their nukes on it, it says that how is the hammer of the earth broken? Jeremiah 51 and verse well, this is I think it's in Jeremiah 50, but I'll read this one. Jeremiah 51 and 25. It says, "Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain." Yeah, you went around destroying the whole planet Earth. saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. And how is that going to happen? By the Lord stirring up the Medes and all the different countries that's going to be aligned with Russia, Gog and Magog, and they're going to come against the whore. All right, including America's own allies, the beast, NATO. All right, they're going to come against the whore too and burn it with fire. Revelation 17. Jeremiah 50. And was it 25? 23. There it is. Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 23 says, how is the hammer of the earth, the whole earth, cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So, the hammer of the earth, you go around just tearing everything up, bombing everything. You're going to have your day. And all these nations going to come against you and they's going to blow you away, man. So I just want to bring this out. All right. Shameful spewing upon their glory, man. So with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. And to the next one, Shalom.